Hey Gemini, welcome to my channel Intuitive Tarot Empath. This is your general reading for June 2017. A couple things before we get started. One, I don't think I've ever actually introduced myself to you guys. I'm so fucking rude. Excuse me for the cursing. There's going to be a little bit of that in this video most likely. I'm Robin. Welcome to my channel Intuitive Tarot Empath. Thanks for checking this out. Second of all, thank you guys so much for all of your support in the last couple of months since the inception of this channel. All of your comments, all of your emails, all of your likes and subscriptions and views. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate all of your support. It really means the world to me. I enjoy doing these videos so much, and it's great, to hear your comments and your feedback and your stories. I think that that's the most important part of all to me is you guys connecting and telling me what's going on in your lives. I'm so interested in hearing that, so please keep them coming. Third of all, I decided to shuffle the cards off camera. So I just figured it would make the video go faster, even though I'm probably talking about as long as it would take for me to shuffle the cards. So with that said, let's get into your reading, Gemini, for June 2017. In the event that this does or does not resonate with you, go and check out the videos for your sun, moon, and or rising signs so you can get more information about the energy surrounding you all throughout the end of May, June, and then the beginning of July. I'm really sorry. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. Things have just been like super busy with work and whatnot recently, so it's been kind of dragging, but I'm going to get back into putting these out regularly again, so I apologize if, that this took so long. Anyway, all right, so June, Gemini, is about wanting to move forward but not knowing how. So here you are, Gemini. Swords, however you want to say it, represent air signs, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So here you are. There's something involving relationships that has you standing still and makes you feel as though you're stuck. And what you're not seeming to realize as you come into the month of June is that you have the power to move forward. I think that for you, there's a lot in terms of relationship that's making you stand still, but you're kind of tired of waiting, but you don't know how to move out of this period of time that you're in. And it's something that's weighing on your mind heavily. But what's interesting is that, you might be in a period of time where you're standing still, but once you move fast and you move furiously and you move forward. Like the Knight of Swords has that fire under the horse's feet. So it's like once you finally do make the decision to move forward, and that's gonna happen because we have the Two of Swords in reverse, it's gonna happen very quickly, and you're really gonna bust out of everything that's holding you back. But I think that you're going to be in a period where you're trying really hard to reflect, but it might even be that there's nothing that's happening that's so insistent, or there's nothing that's making you want to move forward. It's just this feeling of stuck. You just feel stuck and you don't know how, but you know you want to. Like you're sick of waiting, and it has to do with relationships, and it seems to be a particular person. So it could be that you're in a relationship with an air sign, or in fact it could even be that an air sign is in your life, or somebody who exhibits these. I want to even say it could be a fire sign, because we have the fire under the feet of the hooves of the horse in the Knight of Swords card, but we also have the King of Wands, who's a Sagittarius. Could also be other fire signs like Leo or Aries, but I think that you are. Could it be that you're waiting for this person to come around, but you feel stuck? It's like your feelings for this person are so strong that it makes you want to stand still, but there's something that they're not doing. Like either they're not committing, or they're acting super immature, or, some days they're in it and some days they're not, and it's caused this like stress and strain in your life where you're just like, I'm done. Like, I don't know how much more I could take from this person. And I think that it's that stress that's really making you feel like, stick another fork in me. I'm done. I just don't know what to do. But it has you standing still. Like, you'll notice that in the Ten of Swords, there's no more room in the back of this man who's lying on the ground with all the swords stuck in him. There's no room for any more swords. But if you notice in the background, the sun is starting to rise. But it would make sense that you can't see what's to come because you're so focused on your situation and kind of feeling stuck in it. But there are other offers on the other side of this. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. So if you're afraid that, I'm afraid to move forward because I don't know what's going to be there for me if I do, know that on the other side of this is happiness, is celebration, is contentment, is all these like really good, happy, positive things. And somebody who's more stable, somebody who's more grounded, somebody who has, who's more slow moving. It's a very different energy than the King of Wands, Knight of Swords in reverse energy. This guy is moving into the future, but he's doing so steadily and sturdily. And, the King of Wands and the Knight of Swords in reverse is kind of this, like immature, fiery, impulsive kind of energy. But it's that kind of energy that makes those two, that person fun. This person is a little more methodical, is a little more, grounded. This person is an earth sign, so it's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So a different energy than the energy that you're dealing with, but something that's not, it just feels like something that's necessary, because this person seems to like, this person that you're dealing with, that you're kind of chained to in some way, that you feel as though you're stuck being with because you don't want to walk away from them. It's like, I know this is bad for me, but, I don't want to have to walk away from it. This person can just be, this person is like a tornado. And it's like every time you get spit out of the tornado, you're stuck processing for like long periods of time what the hell just happened to you. And then, you have to take a minute to kind of rest, but you never get back to normal. Or so it feels. It feels to you like you never completely get back to normal. This person is almost like, sometimes this person can even feel like a drug. And so it's like, I don't know if I want to walk away yet. But when we get into these cards, throughout the month of June, because you have that Ten of Swords energy surrounding you, your goal personally is going to be to work on balancing yourself, balancing your emotions, balancing your relationship with this person, balancing mentally what it is that you want with what it is that you have, just really working on yourself and trying to figure out like what's best for you. How am I balanced? How do I maintain my happiness? How do I maintain my happiness in the face of this relationship that I don't seem to be walking away from? These cards all speak to emotions. There's a lot of cups and there's a lot of water. There's water in almost every single card on the table that doesn't have a cup in it. Also has water. We have a lot about intuition. So as you come into the month of June, I think that, the last 2 weeks of May, you're really feeling kind of spent and like, oh my God, what is going, like, just, it's a lot. This person is a lot. And I think that coming into June, your question is, how do I obtain balance? How do I do the things that I need to do to reconnect with myself in order to be a whole person? And I think that, you've maybe been letting this person, or not letting this person, but kind of making this person the center of things because they're fun and they're impulsive and you like to be around them, but it's also making you unbalanced. It's pushing you out of whack. And the Page of Swords is what's crossing you. So I think that you're starting to realize that perhaps when it comes to this person, you're kind of looking in the opposite direction of what it is that they do to you mentally. So, like, if they put some sort of stress on you mentally, because we do have the Knight of Swords in reverse on the bottom of the deck, and we do have the King of Wands in reverse. So I feel like this person and what they do kind of weighs on you mentally. And I think that with the Page of Swords, you know, it could even be that they're sending you messages, like you're not expecting a message from them to be what it is, and then they send it to you and you're like, oh my God, what? Like, now I have to deal with this? Or it could be, because the Moon card is here, it could be just about like finding things out, like that this person was trying to hide. But I think that a lot of what's throwing you off balance is perhaps not dealing with mentally the things that you need to deal with. And so the Page is a message saying, you know, deal with your mental stuff. Deal with the things that are causing you stress mentally. Stop looking in the opposite direction of what's right in front of you. I think that also speaks to the Eight of Swords card, in that, you know, sometimes when we love somebody or we like the relationship that we're in with somebody, you know, or we don't think that we can do better, sometimes we turn a blind eye to what it is that they do that causes us stress, and we kind of excuse away their behavior. And I think that with the Page of Swords card in reverse, what this is telling you is that in order to achieve balance, don't look in the other direction. Face head on the things that are weighing on you mentally, because it's through that you'll be able to figure out what exactly it is that's causing you to lack balance in your life. But it's also you can't deal with problems unless you face them head on. And I know that can be like a scary, you know, a scary idea, but it's necessary. And you'll notice that, we do have water in the Page of Swords card, or at least it looks like water. I'm going to go with the fact that it's water. It might be a blue mountain, but I think it's more water. Anyway, I'm going to stop saying water, and I'm going to say that this, you know, think about how your emotions are affecting you. You'll also notice that in the Page of Swords card, you know, he has the clouds by his head. He has the cloud over by his eyes. So it's almost like, you know, his inability to see what's actually going on, because he's choosing to look in the opposite direction of reality. He's choosing to look into the clouds. So, you know, turn your head so that you can see what's really going on. And I also think that, you know, in times of major stress, especially in relationships, sometimes we have a tendency to reach into the past to remind ourselves how it is that we felt about that person when we first got together with them. And it's those old feelings that keep us invested in something that might be past its due date. So I think that June for you is going to be about finding balance through facing reality. And so when we look to your past, we have the Nine of Cups. So here you are on your own, happy, content, good. You know, you feel fulfilled. The Nine of Cups is all about fulfillment. It's about hope. It's about taking care of your needs. It's about being emotionally happy and, you know, all those good things. And nines are also about endings so that new beginnings can begin. So perhaps it was that you were single for a while and then you met this person, and, you know, you met them at a time when you were at your, like, best. Like, you met them at a time when, you know, everything in your life felt as though it was in alignment. You were really, really good. You were really, really happy. And so it was almost like you manifested this person. But now you're in a place where there's a lot here about intuition, because you have the Moon and you have water in, the Moon is in 3 different cards, and within those 3 cards that have the Moon in them, you also have water. I think that, you know, you were fine on your own. There was happiness, hope, contentment surrounding you, emotional fulfillment, and then perhaps, you know, you had to make a decision. Perhaps it's a decision about whether or not you want to be with this person, and then ultimately you decide that you do, because intuitively you were compatible with this person. You knew that it was like a good place to be. Definitely dealing with emotions, or it could be that yeah, when it comes to the Two of Swords, you've made a decision concerning this person, and this is in the recent past. So it could be that you were so happy and content, you meet this person and you decide not to be single anymore. It could be that you decide to communicate with this person, because twos in tarot, two in astrology are about communication. Um, and also, communicating with someone, deciding not to be single anymore. We do have, two here, so this could represent two people. Perhaps you were between two different people, but perhaps you were between a Knight of Swords or, a King of Wands, and you made a decision about who it was that you wanted to be with. But either way, in the recent past, you made a decision concerning matters of the heart, and you communicated those feelings to another person. But once again, the theme of this is like flying blind. Like you are relying on your intuition to help you make decisions. But even though you're relying on your intuition to help you make decisions, it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to move forward. Like between the Eight of Swords and the Two of Swords, we have here this feeling of like you were good on your own, and then all of a sudden you kind of like the water got muddy. Like all of a sudden it was like really difficult for you to trust your intuition, or even though you're making decisions, it was like, okay, I made this decision, and now I'm going to stop, and now I'm going to halt right here. And I think that what all of these cards are saying is that, perhaps you chose that person. Perhaps you chose to be in that situation and you felt like, I can't believe I made that choice. It's not something I would have normally done. Perhaps feeling as though it threw you off balance a little bit. Like we talked about before, that, June for you is going to be about finding your balance and really looking at the reality of a situation. And I think that the advice that the Queen of Wands is giving you is, in order to achieve balance, to tap into a couple of things. Tap into your kind of dominant energy. I think that sometimes this person can have a tendency to railroad you with their ideas and their way of living life and their way of doing things, because they're so impulsive and they're so fiery, that I think that the Queen of Wands is saying to you, you're just as fiery as they are. Geminis are, super interesting and super impulsive and super good storytellers, charming people, intelligent. They know a little bit about a lot of things. So the Queen of Wands is saying, don't forget that aspect of yourself that's just as fiery and interesting as the person that you're with. Because something tells me that you were happy and fine on your own, and then it's almost like this person stole a little bit of your light. So don't let this person steal your light. Trust your intuition. Trust that when you're feeling as though things are not going in the direction that you want them to, that there's a reason you're feeling that way. And I think that this card is also saying that it's imperative of you to investigate that in order to maintain your own personal happiness. Don't forget, this is who you are. This fiery, interesting, passionate, intuitive person. Because sometimes when people come in like a tornado, we have a tendency to observe what's happening with them and kind of leave our lives behind, because we're just so fascinated by what it is that person's doing. We just want to watch them. So don't forget that this is who you are, that you are just as interesting, if not more so, Gemini, interesting than this person. And trust your intuition. That's the advice. In order to re-achieve balance within yourself, trust your intuition and understand that you are passionate, you are interesting, you are fiery, and own that. Own that part of you that you may have felt as though you gave up a little in order to turn a blind eye to whatever it is that this person is doing that's weighing on you mentally. I think that once you it's interesting because the Ten of Cups is here, and I love the Ten of Cups whether or not it's in reverse. I think it's a really happy card. I think that, wow, okay. So I think that in the future, you are going to be working on achieving the Ten of Cups, this happily ever after. I think that you're going to try really hard with this person to make a happy home life. And I think that the Ten of Cups, did I call it the Ten of Cards? I feel like I just called it the Ten of Cards. Anyway, the Ten of Cups in reverse is saying that, you know, you're going to be working really hard on this. It's going to be kind of difficult to achieve happiness, but it is achievable. So it's just a matter of you finding balance within yourself, because you need to be a whole person in order to match this person in all of their in all of their chaos and craziness and tornado-like energies. From what I'm getting with the Hanged Man in reverse, the Moon, the Eight of Cups, and the Three of Cups is that throughout June, you are going to be working on your happiness in this relationship with this person. You are going to be trying to work on your happiness. And I think that this is saying that happiness, celebration, hope, and a happily ever after are achievable. It's just going to take some work. Because I think that this person that you're in relationship with has a lot of work to do on themselves also. So there might be some fights, some bones of contention, but I think that overall, once you get to a place of balance within yourself, there, is room for a happily ever after. But I want to say that, and that's, like I said, what you're working toward throughout June, and it is achievable. It is there for you. It is saying that, like, you're going to get the balance that you're seeking, and you're no longer going to be feeling that Ten of Swords energy. But I think that Ten of Cups in reverse is saying that you might not necessarily have the happily ever after the exact way that you thought you would. In fact, I think that you, having been stagnant for, whatever period of time, you could be stagnant for a day and it feels like a month. I think that you in June are going to be moving forward fast. I think that, here we have the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. He's got the fire under his, horse's hooves. He's moving super fast into the future. And I think that you have felt stuck. You're not willing to wait anymore. So I don't know if it's that you're waiting for a commitment from this person and they refuse to commit. This is a general reading, so this could be that you have to make a decision between two different people, and you have been waiting for a while, and you, finally make the decision, and you're not waiting to make the decision anymore. But there's, it could even be that you're waiting for some sort of realization to occur to you about this relationship, and finally it does. Because June is going to be a lot about enlightenment for you in looking, no longer turning a blind eye to the reality of your situation. You're going to attain enlightenment about that situation. You're going to have realizations about it, because you'll notice that there's kind of a sunbeamish situation happening around the Hangman's head, but he is in reverse, so you're not waiting anymore. And you'll notice that his legs are in this 4 position. So I want to say that this is even something concerning home. So realizations concerning your home, your partnership, the person that you're dealing with in this situation who's making you feel a certain way, that enlightenment is going to help you find balance. And I think that, once again, we're talking about no longer turning a blind eye to that which we need to turn away from in order to have a happy relationship. I think that your environment throughout June is going to be about secrets revealed. I think that you're going to take that path to enlightenment throughout June, and all of the things that you had questions about, those questions are going to be answered, and they might not necessarily be answered in ways that you would have assumed. Like, that's what the Moon is all about. The Moon is all about trusting your intuition, maybe even, you know, this is about the investigation into self that you'll be doing, realizing certain things about you, realizing certain things about your relationship. Secrets that this person has been keeping are going to be revealed. Perhaps it's even that, you know, in turning toward this person and seeing them for who they really are, that's where the secrets are revealed. So June is about balance and revelations. And the moon is everywhere in here. So, you know, and then the black cat in the Queen of Wands card is saying that throughout June, you need to trust your intuition. You need to let your intuition guide you. You know, use your intuition to help you move forward, because it's going to give you clarity. I think that throughout June, your hope and your fear is about moving. So the fear is that you'll have to, like, this is about standing in reverse. The Eight of Cups is about standing still. So I think almost like you want to be in this with this person, but I think the fear is that nothing's going to move forward. But the thing is that it will. So if you're looking for a commitment from this person, you know, if that's the thing that's been kind of stagnant, is that you're waiting for them to kind of get their shit together so that you can move forward with this relationship, I think that it's going to take a little time, but ultimately you do have that as the outcome. But in order for you to achieve some sort of commitment from this person, it's going to take for you to find balance within yourself. And that's what this Three of Cups is saying, that at the end of June, beginning of July, there is much celebration surrounding home, family, friends, you know, relationships in your life. And this is upright. I mean, upright or in reverse, just like the Ten of Cups. It's a happy card, but the only difference is that the Ten of Cups is saying that this relationship might be a little slow moving to find its happily ever after. But this is confirming that by the end of June, beginning of July, you know, you will have forward movement with this relationship. And it is going to be based on a decision that you make. Like, you, by the end of June, beginning of July, are going to be in control of things, whether that's by moving forward, and then this person comes back and says, oh my goodness, you know, I can't live without you. You're such an amazing person. You know, I need to be with you. You know, or whether that's just you saying like, hey, I'm not going to put up with the stress that you've been causing me because it's completely unnecessary. So really at the end of June, beginning of July, you have so much happiness surrounding you. You have friends, you have family, you have fun, parties. I want to do clarification cards for the Ten of Cups in reverse and see what that has to actually, yeah. Okay, so what are the energies surrounding the Ten of Cups in reverse? All right, so I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Lenormand Tarot deck, and we are going to see what those cards have to tell us about the energies surrounding the Ten of Cups in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. All right, so I think we have like... All right, so the way we're going to do this is... Okay, we have the lilies. Oh, and the moon again is on that card. The stork, so we have new beginnings. And we have the lady. I'm going to do one more card. Yeah, and love. Okay. I usually don't pull for 4 cards, but in this instance, I figured it was worth it because we have the lady card. So the lady either represents you or the person in question. So like the person who's asking the question, which would be you, Gemini, or it is the person that you're in a relationship with. That's all. This is just represents women. But when it comes to the Ten of Cups, the clarity on that is this is somebody who you can, create like there's a lot of passion in this relationship. There's a lot of love in this relationship. So the lilies are about love and harmony. So I think that that's what you and this person are working toward. But in order for you to have that love and harmony, you're going to have to find balance in order to create a new beginning. The way that your relationship is right now is unsustainable. And in fact, your current relationship is ending. Let me explain what that means before we, get upset. It's not ending in that the two of you will separate or break up and then never get back together. What I'm saying is that the state of your relationship now is unsustainable as it is because it's causing you to be unhappy. And so in order for you guys to be happy as a unit together, it's almost like this phase of your relationship has to end in order for a new phase to begin. And I think that you and your partner are coming into a new phase. And the new phase that you're coming into is so much love, so much connection, so much passion. And I think that this confirms that the reason why you don't want to walk away from this person is because you do have this insane connection to them. Just really intense connection, love connection, passion, soulmate kind of love. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was a twin flame. But what this is just saying is that, in order for you to have that happily ever after, to have that happy relationship with this person, to get to that 10 of Cups, and not have it be in reverse, you have to do the work on yourself. Don't, and I say this, Gemini, I've been there right with you, especially because I'm a Gemini rising. So I understand that, you can't let this person railroad you with how intense their life is or how intense their emotions are or how, intense their interests are. That you need to remember that you are just as interesting, that you have just as many interests, that there are things that are important to you that are worth you working on. Don't give yourself up in order to make this person... yeah, this card just flipped out. Don't be the observer in the relationship. Be an active participant. Even though it might feel like you're an active participant, there's still so much that says, okay, I'm waiting. Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, I'm waiting. And this is all saying, stop waiting. Stop waiting. Move forward. Move forward. Listen to your intuition and then move forward on what your heart is telling you to do, what your gut is telling you to do. So here, the card that flipped out of the Guardian Angel Tarot deck is the Messenger of Emotion. Yeah, that weird card. Okay, so the Messenger of Emotion is the equivalent of, it might be the Page. It's either the Page or the Knight of Cups in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. So this is the beginning of a new emotional experience that could grow into something deeper. You may receive a message expressing feelings that you didn't even know were developing. A social invitation could soon be on its way to you. There's a person involved who's very gentle and loving with only the kindest of intentions. It could be you, especially if you're artistic, shy, and sensitive. So this could also speak to... this could speak to the Three of Cups. This could speak to that Knight of Pentacles who was in the deck, and on the bottom of the deck. So there's a little message in the book, so I'm going to read that message to you. So the Messenger of Emotion is the Page of Cups. So this is the beginning of an emotional experience that could grow into something deeper. You may receive a letter, a call, or a text or email conveying feelings that you hadn't realized were developing. And this could also be someone in the picture who you weren't anticipating. That's what the Page of Swords is. So like a message that someone sends you, that speaks to that as well. A friend or colleague may provide you with information that generates an emotional reaction from you. It's safe to let your feelings show. Sparks of intuition give you insight into a situation. Have we not been talking about intuition this whole fucking time? All right, so people, a very gentle and loving person who has only the kindest of intentions, someone who wants to open his or her heart to others but feels shy or uncertain about doing so, an avid daydreamer, an intuitive youth, romantic but inexperienced, artistic and sensitive. Additional meanings of this card: invitations to events, giving or receiving an apology, revelatory, sleeping dreams. So Gemini, you have a super exciting June ahead of you. I think that you need to focus on you for the month of June and focus on balancing yourself, on looking realistically at what's going on in your situation, and then enjoying the fruits of that work, because you're going to be celebrating the fuck out of June and July. So enjoy every second of it. You're in the driver's seat. You make the decisions. You are just as interesting as this person, who you're in relationship with. So own your power again, Gemini. Own your power and realize that you are just as worthy of this person, and that you need to figure out if they're worthy of you. But there is a happily ever after on the horizon, so don't you worry. Enjoy every second of it. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, please check out my website, intuitivetarotempath.com. And if you just want to send me an email telling me what's going on in your world, I'm always up for hearing that. I love when you guys connect with me. So that's at intuitivetarotempath@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed your reading for June 2017, and I'll see you guys in July. Bye.